The night arrives the way a soft blanket arrives, without announcement, without hurry. Across the open grassland, moonlight spills gently over pale stems and smooth stones, turning everything into quiet silver. A thin veil of fog drifts low, like the land is exhaling. Somewhere nearby, a small pool holds the sky's reflection, barely moving, as if the water has decided to rest its thoughts for a while. If you listen closely, you can almost hear the savanna doing its evening routines. Not busy routines, the kind that feel like tidying up a room before sleep. One last sigh, one last stretch, one last settling into stillness. Even the trees look like they're practicing deep breathing. Honestly, they're better at it than most of us. And in this calm, striped world of shadows and moon glow, we begin. Welcome to sleepy nature sleep, where the wild grows soft and curiosity becomes calm. Tonight, let your thoughts follow the rhythm of the earth, your breathing settle like evening wind, and your mind wander gently through the quiet wild. Let your shoulders loosen the way grass bends, no effort, just a slow surrender. Let your jaw unclench. Let your forehead smooth out. If your mind arrives with a suitcase full of thoughts, that's okay. We don't need to unpack tonight. We can simply set the suitcase down by the door and let it sit there quietly, like a polite visitor who understands this is not the time for conversation. And if this place feels peaceful, you're always welcome back. Imagine us as a small, quiet campfire, warm, steady, and never too loud. No membership card required, only your presence. If you'd like to support the channel, thank you, truly. It helps us keep the nightlights low and the nature facts cozy, like a bedtime story that remembered to bring a cup of warm tea. Now, let's drift softly toward tonight's gentle companion, the plains zebra. Picture them as the savanna's calm poetry in stripes, black and white lines that feel like moonlight learned how to draw. Each zebra carries a pattern that is its own, like nature's quiet signature, written without ink, without fuss. And in the dim hush of evening, those stripes blur into the grass and shadow, not as a trick, but as a kind of softness, edges dissolving, the world becoming gentle. Tonight, we'll follow their unhurried rhythms, the way they stand together, the way they move like a slow shared thought, the way the grassland holds them like a lullaby. So breathe in and out, and let the moonlit stripes guide you deeper into the quiet. The night on the plains has its own kind of gentle thinking, not the loud, busy kind that taps you on the shoulder, more like a quiet wondering that floats through the grass and settles on the skin like cool air. Out here, the world feels simple in the best way. A wide bowl of sky, a soft floor of grass, a few silhouettes of trees that look like they've been standing in the same calm pose for a very long time. Professional statues, really. If trees had resumes, they'd all say, excellent at staying still. Great listener. Works well with moonlight. And somewhere in that hush, we meet the idea for tonight's question. It's not a riddle. It's not a puzzle. It's just a gentle pebble of thought you can turn over in your mind, slowly, with no pressure to solve anything. Here it is. What does it feel like to belong to a rhythm? Not a dramatic rhythm, not a drum line, more like the rhythm of grazing, resting, drifting a few steps, pausing again. The rhythm of being part of a landscape that keeps breathing whether anyone is watching or not. Plain zebras live within patterns. Some you can see, like their stripes, and some you can only sense, like the pace of the day and the quiet timing of the seasons. They don't seem to argue with the evening. They don't negotiate with the wind. They simply settle into what the land offers, like someone sinking into a familiar chair. As you listen tonight, let that question sit beside you the way the moon sits beside the clouds, softly, without pushing. What does it feel like to belong to a rhythm? Maybe it feels like you're breathing, finding an easy pace, in and out, like the body remembering it can be held by the world without gripping so tightly. And maybe, if you want to smile a little, it also feels like this, like finally discovering you don't have to be the manager of the night. The night is already doing fine. It has a whole team. So we'll keep this question nearby. We'll let it echo quietly through our journey, through moonlit grass, through stripe-shadowed stillness, through the calm company of zebras who seem to understand something simple and soothing. You can move through life without rushing your own heart. Breathe in, breathe out, and let the question drift with you as we step gently into the landscape where plains zebras live, wide, open, and softly awake under the stars. Imagine the plains at night as a wide, quiet room with the lights turned low. The air feels cooler now, the kind of cool that doesn't shock you, just refreshes you, like a slow sip of water. Grass stems sway with a small, steady patience. Somewhere far off, a night bird offers a simple call, not for drama, just because the night is there. The savanna is often described as open and bright, but at night it becomes something else, a place of gentle edges. Colors soften, distances blur. The world turns into shapes and textures, silhouettes of acacia trees, smooth stones, the faint shine of a waterhole that holds the moon like a secret. This is the home range of the plains zebra, also known as equusquaga, a wild horse relative with a coat that looks like it was designed by an artist who loved clean lines and never overdid it. Black stripes on pale fur, like moon shadows painted onto sunlight. The climate here moves through warm days and cooler nights, with seasons that shift between wetter and drier times. And the landscape responds the way a calm person responds to the weather. It adjusts without making a scene. Grass grows, then rests. Water collects, then thins. Life continues, not as a rush, but as a rhythm. Zebras fit into this world with a quiet practicality. They graze on grasses, simple, steady food, using strong teeth and a digestive system suited for frequent nibbling. Their movements across the plains often follow the availability of fresh grass and water, guided by memory and by the slow logic of the land. And through it all, the soundscape stays gentle. A whisper of wind through grass, insects with tiny evening instruments. Occasionally, a soft shuffle, hoof on earth. body shifting weight, a tail making a lazy swish like a sentence ending with a sigh. If your mind likes details, you can let it notice textures. The grass is cool at the tips. The ground holds the day's warmth underneath. The air smells faintly of dry stems and distant water. And if your mind doesn't want details tonight, that's fine too. You can simply let the landscape be a soft backdrop, like a calm painting you don't have to analyze. Even the stars seem unbothered. They sparkle with the confidence of someone who knows they're doing enough. Now, as the plains settle deeper into their nighttime quiet, we'll drift closer, gently, respectfully, toward the zebra's world of stripes, shared space, and unhurried routines. In the dim hush of evening, the zebra's stripes feel less like bold patterns and more like a soft idea. Like moonlight learning how to sketch. Black and pale bands curve over the body in flowing lines, each zebra wearing a design that is its own. And that's one of the quiet wonders. No two stripe patterns are exactly the same. Like fingerprints, but with better fashion sense. If you picture a zebra standing still in moonlit grass, the stripes begin to blur at the edges. Not in a dramatic way, more in the way shadows blur when you soften your eyes. The pattern becomes part of the landscape's texture: grass stems, tree branches, ripples on water, all turning into gentle lines. Scientists have explored why zebras have stripes, and there are a few ideas. Some research suggests stripes may help reduce biting flies by making it harder for insects to land comfortably. Imagine the stripes as a subtle "no thank you" sign, polite, firm, and wearable. Other ideas include social recognition, temperature regulation, and visual effects when zebras stand close together. But tonight, we don't need to chase explanations. We can simply let the stripes be what they are, a calm miracle you can look at slowly. Zebras are social animals, often found in groups. And when several zebras stand together, those stripes overlap and weave into a shared pattern, like a living tapestry. It's not loud, it's not chaotic, it's just togetherness, a quiet closeness in a wide world. If you want a small, gentle laugh, humans form groups and then debate where to eat for 45 minutes. Zebras form groups and then calmly graze. There's a lesson there, but we'll keep it soft. Watch how a zebra holds itself. The posture is balanced, grounded, legs planted with ease. The head lowers and lifts in unhurried cycles. The ears turn slightly as if listening to the night's smallest notes, and the zebra's coat, short and sleek, catches the faint light, creating a soft sheen. You can almost feel the texture in your mind, smooth, warm, alive. As you breathe, let your attention move like the stripes, slowly, line by line, without rushing to the end. In, out. Sometimes the most soothing thing is a pattern you don't have to interpret. You can simply follow it, the way you might follow gentle rain down a window. And here, under a calm sky, the zebra's stripes offer that kind of comfort. Steady lines, quiet belonging, and a reminder that nature can be both simple and beautifully detailed, without ever raising its voice. On the plains, togetherness often looks quiet, not crowded, not noisy, just close enough to feel supported. Plains zebras commonly live in social groups, and one of the most familiar patterns is the harem group, typically a stallion, several mares, and their young. There are also looser gatherings where groups come near each other, like neighbors sharing the same peaceful park. In the low light, you might see them standing in a relaxed cluster. Some graze, some pause with heads lifted, ears turning gently as if catching the night's smallest whispers. Others simply stand, resting in a way that feels like a deep exhale. There's a calm choreography to it. Zebras don't need big gestures to communicate. Subtle movements carry meaning. A shift of weight, a tail swish, a soft nudge. Sometimes grooming happens too. One zebra using its teeth to gently scratch another's neck or shoulder. It's practical, yes, helping with dust or itchy spots. But it also feels like affection made visible. If you've ever had a friend fix your collar or brush something off your sleeve, you understand the vibe, just with more fur. Young zebras stay close to their mothers, learning the world through small experiences. The taste of grass, the feel of earth under hooves, the comfort of standing within the group. A foal's early life is full of simple discoveries, like realizing your legs can do things, and also realizing that naps are deeply underrated. The group offers something steady, familiarity, safety and routine, a shared rhythm of grazing and resting. It's not a dramatic bond, it's a quiet one, like knowing someone will still be there when you look up. And the landscape supports this social life. Open plains allow long sight lines. The group can spread out without losing contact, like a conversation held in comfortable silence. As you imagine them now, let your own thoughts soften. You don't have to be anything tonight. You can simply belong to the moment the way zebras belong to the grassland by existing within it, in and out. If your mind wanders, let it wander gently, like a zebra taking a few slow steps to a better patch of grass. Not because it's chasing anything, just because the world offers small choices and the body enjoys ease. And if you like a tiny wink of humor, zebras have social structure, group coordination, and matching outfits. Meanwhile, some of us can't find both socks. Nature is quietly impressive. Now we'll drift onward, following the herd's calm routines toward the simple, soothing work of eating, resting, and moving through the plains like a slow, steady tide. There is something deeply calming about watching an animal eat in peace. Not in a rushed way, not in a getting things done way, just in the steady, quiet way that says, this is what the moment is for. Plains zebras are grazers. Their days and nights often include long stretches of nibbling grass, lifting the head, chewing slowly, and then returning to another patch. The movement is small, gentle, and repetitive, almost like a lullaby written in hoof steps. A zebra lowers its head. The muzzle brushes the grass tips. Teeth clip the stems with soft, tidy efficiency. Then the head rises slightly, and the chewing begins, slow, rhythmic, even. If you listen with your imagination, you might hear it. The faint whisper of grass, the quiet working of jaws, It's a sound that doesn't demand attention. It simply offers it, like a steady metronome for the mind. Zebras are built for this lifestyle. Their teeth and jaws are suited for grinding tough grasses. Their digestive system works in a way that fits frequent feeding, less like one big feast, more like many small, calm meals. It's the opposite of dramatic dining. If zebras had a restaurant review, it might be grass, again, 5 stars, would recommend. And as the herd grazes, the group stays loosely connected. A few steps here, a pause there. Sometimes one zebra stands with head up, ears angled outward, as if listening to the night's far-off notes. Not with alarm, just awareness, the way you might listen for rain while you're cozy indoors. The air feels cooler now, and you can imagine the smell of grass and earth, dry, clean, faintly sweet. The ground holds warmth beneath the surface, like a memory of the day. Above, the sky remains open and quiet, stars scattered like soft grains of salt. Let your breathing match the chewing rhythm, unhurried and steady. In, out. If thoughts arrive, let them pass like a breeze through grass, felt for a moment, then gone. You're not required to follow them. Tonight, we're practicing something zebras seem to know well: the calm art of repeating a simple task without turning it into a performance. Just eating, just being, just moving gently through the world. And as the grazing continues, like a slow song without words, we'll drift deeper into the zebra's sensory night, how it listens, how it smells, how it experiences the plains as a soft map of sound and air. Night on the savanna doesn't feel silent so much as gently layered. The air carries small sounds the way a soft blanket carries warmth. A faint insect chorus, the whisper of grass heads brushing one another, a distant, unhurried call that sounds like the landscape reminding itself it exists. And in this quiet orchestra, the plain zebra listens with a steady kind of attention. Look at the ears first. They're always doing something subtle, turning a few degrees, tilting, pausing, turning again. Not frantic, not dramatic, more like someone rotating a radio dial very slowly until the music feels just right. Each ear can angle a little independently, which gives the zebra a wide, gentle awareness of the world around it. Now imagine the zebra's breath in the cool air, in and out. The nostrils are part of the story too. Zebras rely on smell to read the night like a calm newspaper. Who has been here? What plants are nearby, where the air feels damp with the memory of water? Scent doesn't shout, it lingers, and zebras seem to understand lingering. Sometimes a zebra pauses with its head slightly lifted, as if tasting the air. Not with worry, just with curiosity that feels quiet. Like a person stepping outside at night to see how the weather feels on their skin. If you want a feather-light smile, zebras don't scroll the news before bed. They simply sniff the breeze. Honestly, a strong wellness routine. And then there's vibration, the subtle information carried through the ground, hooves on soil, a shift in the herd, the soft thump of a step that you might feel more than hear. The savanna is not only a place you see, It's a place you sense through texture and pressure, through the gentle language of earth. As you imagine this, let your own senses soften. You don't need to focus harder. You can simply notice the idea of noticing. The zebra's eyes in low light take in shapes and movement with a calm efficiency. The world at night becomes simpler, less color, more silhouette. The zebra doesn't seem bothered by that. It doesn't demand the day return. It just adjusts the way you adjust your eyes in a dim room, slowly, patiently. And here, our question from earlier drifts back like a familiar scent. What does it feel like to belong to a rhythm? Maybe it feels like this steady listening, not searching, not chasing, just being present to what arrives. So breathe gently, the way the zebra breathes, in and out, and let the night's soft information, sound, scent, vibration hold you like quiet hands. As we drift toward the next peaceful place the herd visits, the water's edge, where the moon rests on the surface like a silver leaf. There are places in nature that feel like pauses. The waterhole is one of them. Even the air seems to slow down near water, as if it's remembering how to be smooth. Picture a small pool under moonlight. The surface holds a pale reflection of the sky, and the edges are ringed with grasses that lean inward, curious and calm. The water doesn't hurry. It simply waits, quiet, patient, and very good at being water. Zebras approach with an unforced steadiness. Hooves press into the ground, leaving soft prints that feel like gentle punctuation marks in the dust. The herd gathers near the edge, not packed tight, just close enough to feel connected, like friends standing together on a quiet balcony. A zebra lowers its head to drink. The muzzle touches the surface, and the moon's reflection trembles slightly, then settles again. Sip by sip, the water disappears into the zebra's body, becoming part of the slow inner work of life. Drinking is such a peaceful act when it isn't rushed. It's one of the simplest ways a creature says, "I am here. I am part of this place." And if you listen with your imagination, you can hear the softest sounds, the gentle lap of water, a quiet swallow, the faint rustle of grass when a zebra shifts its stance. The night feels like it's holding its breath in a friendly way, like it doesn't want to interrupt. Sometimes a zebra lifts its head, water droplets catching moonlight for a moment before falling back to earth. Those tiny drops feel like little commas, brief pauses in a sentence the savanna has been writing for a very long time. A small, sleepy humor line can live here too. If zebras had mirrors at home, they might still come to the waterhole. Not for vanity, just because the moon's lighting is unbeatable. Around the water, other life often leaves its signatures, tracks, scents, faint impressions in mud. The edges of a waterhole hold stories without telling them loudly. They don't insist on being read. They simply exist, layered and quiet. And once again, the rhythm returns. Drink, pause, breathe, in and out. You can let your own thoughts become like this water, smooth, reflective, not gripping anything. If a thought arrives, let it ripple and fade. The zebras, with their calm stripes and steady bodies, feel like living brushstrokes beside the pool. Black and pale lines against silver water, a gentle contrast that doesn't argue with the night, just complements it. And when the herd feels ready, they drift away from the water with the same softness they arrived with, leaving the moon to rest again on the surface, still, quiet, and content to shine without effort. Rest in the wild can look different from rest in our homes, but the feeling underneath is familiar, a body settling into ease. On the savanna, plain zebras rest in ways that fit their lives and their shapes, sometimes standing quietly, sometimes lowering themselves to the ground when the moment feels right. Standing rest can look surprisingly peaceful. A zebra may soften its posture, shifting weight with small adjustments, letting muscles relax while remaining upright. It's like dozing in a comfortable chair, one that just happens to be made of legs. And then there's lying down, often shorter, softer stretches. When a zebra settles onto the ground, the body folds into the earth's gentle warmth. The grass becomes a mattress with no instructions. The sky becomes a ceiling with no corners. Sleep itself comes in layers. Many animals have lighter, dozing states and deeper moments too. Zebras can rest in short, calm periods, little pockets of stillness stitched into the night. It's not an all-or-nothing event. It's more like a quilt. Many small squares of rest sewn together. If you'd like a tiny smile, zebras don't have bedtime alarms. They don't say, "I'll sleep efficiently from 10 on to 6 on." They simply take rest when rest fits. It's a very natural kind of flexibility, and it makes our calendars look a little dramatic. Within the herd, resting often happens with a sense of shared presence. Some individuals remain upright, some doze, some shift positions slowly. The group feels like a living lullaby, gentle, repeating, steady. Notice the small details. A tail makes a lazy sweep through the air. An ear rotates slightly, then stills. A breath expands the ribs, then releases, in and out. Even the stripes seem quieter now, softened by darkness. The bold pattern becomes a calm gradient of shadow and moonlight, like the zebra is wearing a nighttime version of itself. And the savanna supports this rest with its own steady rhythm. The temperature cools, the breeze moves through grass, like a slow hand combing hair. Insects keep their soft music going, not to entertain anyone, just because that's what they do. Our question returns again, not as a challenge, but as comfort. What does it feel like to belong to a rhythm? Maybe it feels like letting rest arrive in small, kind waves, not forcing, not chasing, just allowing. So if your body wants to soften a little more, let it. If your eyes want to feel heavier, let them. Tonight, we're learning from zebras that rest doesn't need to be perfect to be real. It only needs to be gentle. And as the herd settles into these quiet patterns, we drift closer to the subtle ways zebras share their world, through soft sounds, small gestures, and the calm language of being together. Communication doesn't always need speeches. On the savanna, it often arrives as tiny signals, simple, steady, and easy to miss if you're looking for drama. Plains zebras communicate with a mix of sounds and body language. Their vocalizations can include brays that carry across open space, as well as snorts and softer calls that feel more like murmurs. Not everything is a declaration. Sometimes it's just a gentle, "I'm here," offered into the night. Imagine it, a low, brief sound in the darkness. Another zebra turns an ear. A head lifts slightly. Then, just as easily, the group returns to stillness, like a conversation that only needed one sentence. Body language matters too. Ears angle forward or outward. Tails swish, heads tilt. A zebra might nudge another's shoulder lightly, or stand close in a way that feels like quiet reassurance. And grooming, those gentle scratches with the teeth, becomes another kind of message. You belong near me. If you want a soft laugh, humans sometimes say, "No worries," while worrying. Zebras say, "No worries," by simply standing there, looking like they invented calm. In a herd, these small signals help keep everyone connected. The group doesn't need constant chatter. It needs rhythm, a steady sense of where everyone is, how everyone feels, and what the shared moment is doing. There's also recognition. Zebras can tell each other apart through voice, scent, and visual cues, like those unique stripe patterns. So even in a world of similar-looking bodies, each individual remains distinct. The herd is togetherness without sameness, like a choir where everyone sings the same song, but each voice still sounds like itself. Let that be soothing for you too. You don't have to become blank to be peaceful. You can be yourself and still rest. Notice the pace of zebra communication. It fits the night. A sound, then quiet. A nudge, then stillness. A shift of ears, then calm. Breathe in and out. Let your own inner voice follow that pattern. One thought arrives, then quiet. Another thought drifts by, then stillness. And our question again returns like a familiar refrain. What does it feel like to belong to a rhythm? It can feel like this: being understood without being interrogated, being near others without needing to perform, sharing space with softness. Now, with zebra voices fading into the background like wind through grass, we'll drift into the slow, seasonal movements of the plains, how the land changes gently, and how the zebras move with it like a quiet tide. The savanna changes the way a calm person changes a room, gradually, without announcement. A little more dryness in the air, a different scent in the wind. Grass that shifts from fresh green to softer gold, water that appears in some places and thins in others. The world doesn't flip a switch, it eases into its next mood. Plain zebras live inside these long, gentle transitions. Their movements across the landscape often follow the simple logic of comfort. Where the grass feels better, where water is easier to find, where the air carries the familiar smells of home. It's not a dramatic journey. It's more like wandering through a large garden, following the parts that feel most nourishing. Sometimes, zebras travel in broader seasonal patterns, drifting with rains and fresh growth when the land offers it. Sometimes they move in smaller loops, returning to places they've known before. The feeling is less destination and more flow. If you want a feather-light smile, zebras don't do spreadsheets. They don't say quarterly objectives. relocate to greener grass. They simply look at the world, take a few slow steps, and let the land guide them. And the land does guide them. The plains become a map made of texture and scent. New shoots after rain, old familiar grazing patches, the quiet invitation of a waterhole, the shade that holds cool air beneath a tree. These are gentle signposts written in grass and wind. As zebras drift, the herd's rhythm stays consistent. Grazing remains steady. Rest returns regularly. The social fabric holds. Movement becomes another form of breathing. Step, step, pause, in and out. And that question we've been carrying echoes again, softly. What does it feel like to belong to a rhythm? Maybe it feels like letting the world move you without pushing you, like trusting that you don't have to force the next moment to arrive, like understanding that change can be quiet. Seasonal drift also carries memory, not memory in words, but memory in familiarity. A place that smelled like rain once, a stretch of grass that felt cool under hooves, a bend in the land where the wind always seems a little gentler. The zebra doesn't need to label these things to know them. It simply returns when the time feels right. So let your mind drift the same way tonight, slow, unforced, without needing to get anywhere. If you notice your thoughts trying to hurry, you can let them soften, like grass leaning back after a breeze, in and out. And as the zebras continue their quiet movement across the moonlit plains, we'll drift next into another gentle layer of their lives, how their bodies are shaped for this world, and how the savanna's soft challenges become long, patient adaptations over time. The savanna has a way of teaching the body to be practical without ever being harsh about it. Under moonlight, the plains zebra looks like pure artistry, striped poetry moving through pale grass. And yet, beneath that elegant surface, everything about this animal feels quietly suited to a life of steady grazing and long, unhurried wandering. Start with the mouth, because the zebra's day, and often its night, returns again and again to grass. Zebras are grazers, and grasses can be a little stubborn. They're fibrous, sometimes dry, sometimes coarse, and always committed to being grass. So the zebra's teeth and jaws are shaped for patient chewing. The kind that happens in slow cycles: clip, grind, pause, repeat. It's not glamorous work, but it's calm work. And calm work, as we know, can be deeply soothing. Their digestive system fits that lifestyle too. Zebras are hindgut fermenters, which means they process plant material in a way that favors steady intake and consistent movement through the day. It's less like a single grand banquet and more like a series of gentle, practical snacks. If you want a soft smile, zebras don't try a new diet every Monday. They commit to grass with the loyalty of someone who found a comfortable sweater and never looked back. Now look at the legs and hooves, strong, balanced, built for carrying the zebra over wide open spaces. Hooves meet the ground with a quiet firmness, reading texture and slope like fingertips reading a page. Each step is simple, but when you place enough simple steps together, you get distance. Not dramatic distance, just the kind that happens when you keep moving gently through a big world. And then there's the zebra's posture, grounded, steady, with the head lowering and lifting in slow rhythm. You can almost feel how the body distributes its weight, how it knows how to rest while standing, how it knows how to pause without collapsing into effort. As you picture this, let the idea of built for the world become comforting. The zebra doesn't need to force its life into shape. Its shape already fits its life. And our question returns, like a familiar breath. What does it feel like to belong to a rhythm? Maybe it feels like being made for something simple, like breathing, like chewing, like walking a few steps and pausing again, in and out. Tonight, let your body be practical too. Let it settle into the position that feels easiest. Let the night hold you the way the ground holds a hoof, quietly, steadily, without asking you to perform. And as the zebra continues its gentle routine, we drift toward another soft mystery of the stripes themselves, how they interact with light, heat, and the air that moves like a slow ribbon across the plains. The savanna's nighttime air has a particular personality. It doesn't push, it doesn't demand. It simply moves slowly, like silk sliding across the tops of grasses. You can almost imagine the breeze as a quiet caretaker, tidying the landscape with soft hands. And in that moving air, the zebra's striped coat becomes more than a pattern. It becomes a texture the wind touches. During the day, sunlight can warm the land, and animals respond in small, sensible ways, seeking shade, adjusting activity, letting the body manage its temperature with calm efficiency. Zebras have their own quiet toolkit. Like other mammals, they regulate heat through behavior, resting when it's warmer, grazing when it's cooler, choosing places that feel comfortable. The body doesn't need to announce its strategies. It simply chooses ease. There's also a gentle curiosity scientists have explored, whether zebra stripes might influence air movement close to the body, creating tiny differences in how heat is absorbed or released. It's a subtle idea, still discussed and studied, like a soft question rather than a final answer. But even without certainty, it invites a soothing thought. Nature experimenting slowly over a long time, with small designs that may offer small comforts. If you'd like a tiny, sleepy joke, the zebra's outfit might be doing more than looking stylish. It might be quietly multitasking, a true professional. Now imagine a zebra standing in moonlight. The stripes, darker and lighter, turn into gentle bands of shadow. The breeze passes over the coat. The ears tilt, the tail swishes lazily, and the body remains calm, like a candle that doesn't flicker much because the air is kind. You can also think of the coat as a layer between the zebra and the world. Warmth held close when the night cools, heat released when the day grows bright. Not as a battle, just as balance. The animal and the environment adjusting to each other like two friends walking side by side, matching pace without speaking. And while you listen, you can borrow that sense of balance for yourself. You don't need perfect conditions to rest. You only need enough comfort to soften. Breathe in, breathe out, Let your own temperature settle, your shoulders loosening, your face smoothing, your hands unclenching. Let the air around you feel supportive, like the savanna breeze, present, gentle, and unbothered. Our question returns again, quieter now. What does it feel like to belong to a rhythm? Maybe it feels like letting the air do what it does and letting your body do what it knows. A slow inhale, a slow exhale. And as the night continues, we drift into the zebra's quiet self-care, grooming, dusting, and the simple art of staying comfortable in a world that is mostly made of grass, wind, and time. If you've ever watched an animal take care of itself, you know the feeling. It's oddly soothing. Not because anything complicated is happening, but because the creature seems fully present in a simple comfort. Zebras have their own version of a gentle routine, grooming, scratching, and sometimes dust bathing. And yes, it's as relaxing as it sounds. The savanna offers dust the way a home offers a soft towel, quietly, generously, and without instructions. A zebra may roll or rub in dry soil, letting fine dust settle into the coat. It can help with parasites and skin irritation, and it simply feels nice. Dust can absorb oils, soothe itchy places, and leave the zebra looking freshly styled in the most natural way. If you want a sleepy laugh, some of us buy skincare and still feel stressed. Zebras roll in dust and look emotionally balanced. Nature is humble, but also slightly smug. Grooming continues in other ways too. A zebra can use its teeth to scratch along its body, reaching places that need attention. And when zebras are together, grooming often becomes social, gentle, mutual scratching along the neck, shoulder, and back. It's practical care wrapped in quiet companionship. Imagine two zebras standing side by side under dim light. One leans in just slightly. The other stays still, receiving the tiny relief of a well-placed scratch. No words, no fuss, just comfort shared. Their tails also play a role, sweeping softly to discourage insects. The motion is lazy, rhythmic, like a metronome that only measures calm. The ears turn, then settle. A hoof shifts position. The body relaxes. And this is part of what makes the zebra's life feel so sleep-friendly to watch. The routines are repetitive, and repetition is soothing. Your mind doesn't need to brace for surprises. It can simply drift along. Breathe in, breathe out. Let the idea of maintenance feel gentle rather than demanding. Tonight, you don't need to fix yourself. You don't need to optimize. You can simply settle into small comforts, like relaxing your shoulders, unclenching your hands, smoothing your forehead. The zebra's dust bath becomes a quiet reminder. The world offers simple tools for feeling better. Soil, wind, a companion nearby, a moment of stillness, and our question floats back like dust in moonlight. What does it feel like to belong to a rhythm? Maybe it feels like caring for yourself in small ways without turning it into a project, in and out. As the zebra finishes its gentle routine and stands again, calm and composed, we drift toward the softness of early life, foals learning the world in slow discoveries, one wobble, one nibble, one quiet moment at a time. There's a particular sweetness to young life on the savanna. Small bodies, curious eyes, and the kind of learning that happens without lectures. A zebra foal begins life close to its mother, and those first days feel like a gentle introduction to the world's textures. The foal learns the smell of home, mother's coat, familiar herd members, the scent of grass and dust. It learns what it feels like to stand near others and be held by their presence, like warmth near a quiet fire. In the beginning, everything is discovery. Legs that feel a little too long, hooves that meet the ground with newness, a head that turns quickly, then slows, then settles. The foal may practice small movements, tiny steps, little pauses, a hesitant nibble at grass that seems more interesting than delicious at first. If you want a soft chuckle, foals sometimes look like they're wearing their legs for the first time. Like, hello? Are these mine? Okay, we'll work with it. Learning happens through repetition. Standing, walking, grazing, resting. The foal watches adults. It follows. It pauses. It tries again. No one demands perfection. The savanna is a patient teacher. Mothers stay attentive in calm ways, positioning the foal close, guiding it through the herd's gentle flow. And within the group, familiar individuals create a soft, social framework. Bodies nearby, stripes recognizable, voices and scents that become comforting landmarks. Foals also begin to learn the herd's rhythm, when grazing happens, when resting arrives, how to move with others without needing to be in front or behind in any dramatic way. The herd is like a slow current, and the foal learns to float in it. And this is where our question feels especially tender. What does it feel like to belong to a rhythm? For a foal, it might feel like being carried by routine, like knowing that after movement comes pause, after nibbling comes rest, after curiosity comes comfort. You can borrow that softness for yourself tonight. You don't have to grow up in this moment. You don't have to be efficient. You can be like a foal in moonlight, learning rest, learning stillness, learning that it's okay to take your time. Breathe in, breathe out. Let your thoughts wobble gently if they need to. Let them be a little unsure, a little dreamy. There's no test at the end of this episode. Only calm. And as the foal leans closer to the herd, small stripes among larger stripes, we drift toward the wider, quieter neighborhood of the savanna, the other creatures and subtle partnerships that make the plains feel like a living, breathing community. The savanna is not a single story. It's many stories layered together, like grass stems crossing in the wind. Even when the night feels empty at first glance, life continues in soft, overlapping rhythms. Zebras share their home with many other animals, some large, some small, some so tiny you might only notice them as a faint shimmer of movement in the grass. There may be distant shapes grazing elsewhere, birds settling into branches, insects continuing their delicate evening music. The plains don't belong to one creature. They belong to the whole calm neighborhood. This shared space creates subtle connections. Zebras, for example, often graze alongside other herbivores in the same general areas. Different animals may prefer different grass lengths or types, and together they shape the landscape in gentle ways, like roommates who each tidy a different corner of the living room without making a big announcement about it. Birds can become part of the scene too. Some perch nearby, some moving lightly around larger animals. In many grassland systems, birds may pick insects stirred up by movement, or simply use the presence of big grazers as a reliable place to be near the ground's quiet activity. It's not a contract, it's not a deal. It's just a soft convenience that nature repeats because it works. If you want a tiny smile, the savanna is full of casual collaborations. Nobody schedules meetings, and yet somehow things get done. Even the plants participate in this community intelligence. Grass responds to grazing by growing again when conditions allow. Roots hold soil. Seeds wait for the right moment. The landscape doesn't argue with time. It cooperates with it. And within this network, the zebra remains a calm thread, moving, grazing, resting, and leaving behind subtle signs, tracks, clipped grass stems, quiet scents on the wind. The zebra's life becomes part of the savanna's memory, written in small marks that fade gently and return again. Breathe in, breathe out. Let this be soothing. You don't have to carry the whole world alone. Even ecosystems don't do that. They share, they distribute, they balance through many small contributions. Our question returns, now wrapped in community. What does it feel like to belong to a rhythm? Maybe it feels like knowing your role can be simple, a presence, a breath, a step, and still matter. As the night deepens, the soundscape remains soft. Wind and grass, insects humming, distant calls like quiet punctuation, and the zebras continue their steady patterns, stitched into the wider fabric of the plains, together, unhurried and gently at home. On the savanna, not every map is made of lines you can see. Some maps live in the air, soft, invisible, and gently informative. A breeze passes over grass and carries messages that aren't written in words. The damp hint of water nearby, the dry sweetness of sun-warmed stems, the familiar scent of places visited before. Plain zebras move through this world as if they're reading a calm, scented storybook, one page at a time, with no rush to reach the ending. Zebras rely on smell in steady, practical ways. The nose helps them recognize familiar individuals, notice changes in the environment, and keep track of the places that matter. Grazing areas, resting spots, water sources. And like many hoofed animals, zebras also leave their own gentle signatures behind. Sometimes groups use shared dung piles, simple, unglamorous landmarks that hold information for other zebras passing by. It's not dramatic. It's not a proclamation. It's just communication that remains where it's needed, like a quiet note left on a table. If you want a sleepy little smile, zebras don't write emails. They leave scent mail. It's low-tech, reliable, and absolutely impossible to unsubscribe from. In the moonlight, you can imagine a zebra pausing, head slightly lifted, nostrils tasting the air. The ears rotate slowly, as if coordinating with the nose, listening and smelling together, two gentle ways of knowing. The zebra's body stays calm, grounded, and present. It doesn't solve the savanna. It simply belongs to it, and belonging tonight is our theme. What does it feel like to belong to a rhythm? Maybe it feels like trusting that the world will offer signals when you need them, like letting memory live in the body without forcing it into words, like recognizing a place by the way the air feels against your face. You can borrow this idea for yourself. You don't have to navigate your whole life right now. You only have to rest in this moment. Let your breathing be your map. In, out. If your thoughts wander, that's okay. Let them wander gently, like a zebra taking a few slow steps toward a familiar patch of grass. No pressure, no destination needed. Just a soft drift through a landscape of scent and moonlight. And as the herd continues its quiet movement, leaving faint, meaningful traces behind, we'll drift next to something you can see, a different kind of map written directly onto the earth. Hoof prints, tracks, and the gentle story of where bodies have been. The ground remembers more than we give it credit for, not forever and not loudly, but for a little while in a way that feels tender. On the savanna, a zebra's hooves press into soil and leave impressions that look like soft punctuation marks. A line of tracks becomes a sentence. We walked here, we paused, we moved on. And then wind arrives, dust settles, grass leans back into place, and the sentence slowly fades, like chalk on a sidewalk after a gentle rain. Hooves are practical tools. They support the zebra's weight, provide steady grip, and carry the body across open plains with a calm, dependable rhythm. Each step compresses the soil slightly, and over time, many steps by many animals shape pathways through grasses. These paths can make movement easier, not just for zebras, but for other creatures too. The savanna, in this way, becomes quietly organized without any official planning committee. If you'd like a small smile, the savanna has trails, and nobody had to install a sign that says, "Please use walkway." Nature is remarkably cooperative when it wants to be. Hoofprints also interact with the smallest details of the landscape. A shallow print can collect a little moisture. A disturbed patch of soil can expose seeds to air and light. The movement of animals can help scatter seeds and plant fragments, carrying tiny possibilities from one place to another. Not as a grand event, more like the slow sharing of life's ingredients. And then there's the simple poetry of tracks under moonlight. Imagine a zebra walking through pale grass, the stripes gliding like soft shadows. Behind it, the earth holds a brief memory, two neat shapes, repeated and repeated, a gentle rhythm stamped into dust. Step, step, pause, in, out. Our question returns again, now written into the soil. What does it feel like to belong to a rhythm? Maybe it feels like leaving small traces without trying to make a monument, like being part of the landscape story, even when you're not thinking about it, like moving through the world and letting the world respond, quietly, naturally. You can let that idea settle into you. You don't need to leave big marks today. You don't need to prove anything. Even hoofprints fade. And the savanna doesn't treat that as a loss. It treats it as a normal, soothing part of time. As your breathing continues, steady and unhurried, we drift toward the zebra's view of this soft world. How the night looks through zebra eyes, how shapes and shadows become gentle information, and how calm attention can feel like a kind of rest. In the night, vision becomes simpler. Colors soften. Details blur at the edges. The world turns into a calm arrangement of shapes, tree silhouettes, grass waves, the pale sheen of water holding moonlight. A zebra's eyes sit on the sides of its head, giving it a wide field of view, an easy, panoramic way of seeing the world. It's not the narrow focus of a spotlight. It's more like a soft lantern, illuminating a broad area without staring too hard at any one thing. This kind of vision suits life on open plains. It supports a gentle awareness of surroundings, movement in the distance, the position of herd members, the changing textures of grass and ground. It's a quiet readiness that doesn't feel tense. It feels naturally present. And while zebras, like many mammals, don't see the world exactly as humans do, they perceive enough to move with steady confidence. Shapes, contrast, motion, these become the night's visual language. Under moonlight, stripes and shadows mingle, and the savanna turns into a calm black and silver painting. If you want a tiny joke that stays sleepy, zebras don't need high-definition screens. The savanna already comes in wide mode, no settings required. Imagine a zebra pausing, head lifted slightly, ears angled. The eyes take in the scene without forcing it. It's a gentle scan, not an intense stare. The zebra doesn't look like it's searching. It looks like it's simply included in what's around it. There's something soothing about that. The idea that you can see the world without grabbing at it. Now let your own eyes, whether open or closed, do the same. If they're closed, picture the night as broad and soft. If they're open, let them rest on a single calm point, without analyzing. In, out. Notice how your vision can relax when you stop demanding too much of it. The zebra's wide seeing becomes a quiet lesson. You don't have to zoom in on every detail to be safe in the moment. You can let the world be wide. You can let your attention be gentle. And our question drifts in again, like moonlight through grass. What does it feel like to belong to a rhythm? Maybe it feels like letting your awareness be broad and soft, not chasing thoughts, not pinning them down, just allowing them to pass through the wide field of your mind. As the zebra lowers its head again, returning to grazing, returning to routine, we drift onward to the savanna's slow changes, how rain and sun shape the grass, how the landscape renews itself in quiet cycles, and how the zebras live inside those cycles like a steady, striped heartbeat. The savanna is a place that knows how to start over, gently, repeatedly, without making a grand speech about it. Sometimes the change begins with rain, not always a dramatic downpour, often just enough water to darken the soil, soften the air, and invite fresh growth. Over time, grasses respond the way they always do. They reach upward again. New shoots appear. Green returns in small patches that spread slowly, like calm optimism. For grazing animals like plain zebras, this renewal becomes part of the long rhythm of living. Where grass grows tender and fresh, zebras drift toward it. Where the ground feels dry and sparse, they may wander elsewhere. The movement isn't frantic, it's a quiet relationship. The land offers food, the zebras graze, the grass grows again when conditions allow. This cycle is supported by many subtle processes: soil nutrients, plant roots, microbes you'll never see, and the simple return of moisture and sunlight. Even zebra droppings become part of the system, returning nutrients to the ground in an unglamorous but meaningful way. If you'd like a sleepy smile, nature has excellent recycling habits. Zebras contribute, and the savanna politely pretends not to notice how awkward the topic is, and the air after rain carries a particular softness. The smell of wet earth rises, rich, clean, comforting. The grass feels cooler. The night becomes gentler at the edges. A breeze moves through new growth like fingers through hair. You can picture the herd grazing in this renewed landscape. Heads lower, teeth clip the grass tips. Chewing continues, slow, rhythmic, steady. The stripes glide through fresh green like quiet ink strokes across a page. In, out. Our question returns again, now rooted in renewal. What does it feel like to belong to a rhythm? Maybe it feels like trusting that again is possible. That rest can return. That softness can grow back. You don't need to force renewal in yourself tonight. You don't have to fix anything while you're tired. You can simply rest in the idea that bodies and minds, like landscapes, have their own ways of recovering when given time and gentle conditions. Let your breathing be that gentle condition. In, out. And as the grass continues its quiet work of beginning again, we drift toward the next soft transition, the approach of morning, when the sky lightens slowly, when the air shifts, and when the zebra's routines continue with the same calm steadiness, as if the day itself is just another slow wave. Morning on the savanna doesn't burst in. It arrives the way a dimmer switch turns, gradually, patiently, almost politely. Before the sun shows itself, the sky begins to lighten at the edges. A faint blue spreads behind distant silhouettes. The air cools, and then, little by little, changes character, softening, lifting, becoming easier to breathe. Grass holds tiny beads of moisture that catch the first pale light like quiet jewels. Zebras continue their routines as if they've known forever that morning will come, because they have. Some graze, some pause, some stand close together, bodies forming a calm cluster of stripes. The herd's movement feels like slow handwriting across the plains, steady, readable, and never rushed. You might notice gentle grooming again, one zebra leaning in to scratch a familiar spot on another's neck. Its comfort shared in small gestures, like someone straightening your collar without a word. If you want a sleepy smile, zebras don't start the day with motivational quotes. They start the day with grass. Honestly, it's a strong strategy. The soundscape shifts too. Insects adjust their music. Birds add soft notes, as if testing the morning acoustics. Wind moves through grass in wider waves now. and the world begins to show more detail, more texture, more depth. And yet, even as the light grows, the feeling remains gentle. Morning doesn't demand productivity from the savanna. It simply offers another phase of the same ongoing rhythm. This is where our question feels especially comforting. What does it feel like to belong to a rhythm? Maybe it feels like letting the day arrive without bracing for it, like greeting light with softness, like knowing you don't have to sprint just because the sky brightens. You can practice that now. Even if you're listening at night, you can borrow the savanna's morning lesson. Time moves forward without needing you to shove it. In, out. Let your thoughts become less sharp at the edges, like the sky in early dawn. Let your body feel heavier in the best way, settled, supported. You're allowed to be slow. You're allowed to rest. The zebras don't apologize for their rhythm. They simply live it. And as the savanna continues to brighten, we drift toward the deeper, quieter story underneath the stripes. The long, patient changes across generations, the gentle shaping of life over time, and the way evolution can feel less like a loud event and more like a slow, steady whisper. On the savanna, time feels wide. It doesn't feel like a countdown. It feels like a slow river, steady, patient, and never in a hurry to prove anything. When we talk about how animals become what they are, we often use the word evolution. And sometimes that word sounds bigger than it needs to. Tonight, we can let it be small and calm. Evolution as long, quiet change. Tiny adjustments that collect over many generations, like sand grains gathering into a soft dune. Plains zebras, with their sturdy bodies and grazing teeth and famous stripes, are part of that long story. Their ancestors lived in landscapes that rewarded steady movement, social connection, and the ability to make a meal out of grass, one of the most common and most underestimated foods on Earth. If you want a gentle smile, grass is basically everywhere, and zebras looked at that and said, "Perfect. Let's specialize." It's like choosing a career with excellent job security. Over time, features that fit the environment tended to remain. Bodies that moved well across open plains. Senses that noticed the world in broad, quiet ways. Social patterns that offered stability. And stripes, still discussed, still studied. Possibly offering subtle benefits that add up in real life, even if they don't announce themselves. What's soothing about this is the pace. Nothing about evolution feels rushed. It doesn't demand immediate results. It doesn't expect perfection by next week. It simply allows small changes to accumulate until a creature fits its world a little better. You can let that idea comfort you. You don't have to reinvent yourself tonight. You don't have to become something new in one moment. Even nature changes slowly, kindly over time. Breathe in, breathe out. Our question returns again, now shaped by long time. What does it feel like to belong to a rhythm? Maybe it feels like trusting slow progress, like letting your life be made of small steps, like allowing yourself to change without pressure. Imagine the zebra on the plains. calm and present, not thinking about its ancestors or the future. It simply grazes, it rests, it moves when it's ready. And in that simple life, the long story continues, quietly, steadily, one breath, one step, one nibble at a time. And now, we drift toward another kind of long time, the ancient landscape itself. The savanna's soils, rocks, and gentle slopes that have been shaped by weather, water, and sun in patient layers. A world that holds zebras, not just in space, but in time. The savanna may look like just grass from far away, but the ground beneath that grass is a quiet archive. Soil layers, stones, and gentle rises in the land carry the memory of weather and seasons, written slowly, the way nature writes everything. Wind moves dust from one place to another. Rain softens the earth and then dries again. Water collects in low places, then retreats. Roots push down and hold on, anchoring the living surface to the older world below. Over years and centuries, these small actions shape the land's texture. Subtle hills, worn paths, shallow basins that become waterholes. The zebra walks on this ancient ground as if it's simply the floor. But the floor has a history, a long one, and that history creates the conditions for grass to grow and for water to gather. Two things that make zebra life possible. If you want a soft smile, zebras don't thank the soil, they just live on it, which is very relatable. Most of us don't thank the floor either until we step on something sharp. Soil itself is busy in the most peaceful way. It holds tiny organisms, microbes, fungi, and small creatures that help break down plant material and recycle nutrients. This invisible work supports the grasses that zebras graze. It's a quiet collaboration beneath everything, like an underground team that never asks for applause. And above ground, the zebra's hooves press into this living surface with each step, gently compacting some areas, loosening others, and leaving small marks that fade. The land responds slowly, reshaping itself. Nothing is permanent, but everything matters for a little while. Breathe in, breathe out. Let the idea of old ground feel comforting, something steady beneath you, something that doesn't need you to perform. The earth holds your weight without complaint. It holds the zebra too, supporting life with patient reliability. Our question returns, now grounded. What does it feel like to belong to a rhythm? Maybe it feels like being supported by something older than your worries, something steady, something that simply holds you. As we continue, we begin a new phase of our journey, the wonder and expansion. We'll rise gently into reflections rooted in nature, memory held in landscapes, the intelligence of ecosystems, and the quiet poetry of adaptation. Not lofty, not cosmic, just the soft wisdom of living things doing what they do. Some landscapes feel like they remember you, not in a spooky way, not in a the grass is watching way though. Honestly, grass does have a certain quiet confidence, more in the gentle way a familiar room remembers your footsteps, the slight dip in a cushion, the worn spot on a wooden floor, the path your body takes without thinking. On the savanna, memory often lives in small marks. a shallow hoofprint that holds a sip of rain, a narrow trail through grass where many bodies have drifted before, a patch of soil smoothed by wind, then textured again by new steps. These are not permanent records, they're soft records, written in a language that fades gracefully. A zebra moves across this ground with calm practicality, but the ground keeps a little echo for a while. And in that echo, you can sense the quiet continuity of life here. Movement returning, rest returning, grazing returning, like a song the landscape knows by heart. Sometimes, the memory of a place is carried by plants. Grasses lean and then rise again. Roots hold the soil the way hands hold a blanket in place. When rain comes, green returns with a kind of gentle familiarity, as if the land says, "Ah, yes, this again." And sometimes, memory is simply the shape of the land itself, a low dip where water gathers, a slightly raised ridge where the air feels drier, a tree line that offers shade and stillness. These shapes guide life without giving instructions. They don't command, they just suggest. If you want a tiny smile, the savanna is like a very experienced interior designer. It subtly arranges everything, light, shade, pathways, and never asks if you love the vibe. Now imagine a zebra pausing in one of those familiar places. The air feels known. The grass smells like a page you've read before. The herd stands nearby, stripes overlapping, bodies relaxed. The moment feels like a soft return, and our question drifts back, gentle as dust. What does it feel like to belong to a rhythm? Maybe it feels like being welcomed by familiar patterns, not because they trap you, but because they hold you. Breathe in, breathe out. Let your own memories be soft tonight. You don't have to review them. You don't have to solve them. You can let them exist the way hoofprints exist, present for a moment, meaningful without pressure, and allowed to fade when they're ready. And as the savanna continues to hold small traces of living, quiet, temporary, tender, we drift into the next wonder, the calm intelligence of ecosystems, where many tiny actions add up to balance, without anyone needing to manage the whole thing. There's a kind of intelligence in nature that doesn't look like planning. It doesn't wear a clipboard. It doesn't call meetings. It simply works through many small actions woven together. An ecosystem is not one organism. It's a community: plants, animals, soil, water, air, each doing its steady part. And when you step back, you can feel how the whole system responds and adjusts, like a calm body maintaining balance without thinking too hard about it. Grasses grow when moisture and light allow. Roots hold the earth and help water soak in. Microbes in the soil break down old plant material and return nutrients for new growth. Insects hum their evening music, moving pollen, cycling energy in tiny ways. And animals like zebras graze, clipping grasses, moving nutrients, shaping which plants get a little more space and which get a little less. It's not dramatic. It's more like quiet housekeeping, the kind you notice only when it's done well. If you'd like a soft laugh, humans created workflow tools to coordinate tasks. The savanna coordinates with wind and dirt. It's extremely minimalist, very chic. A zebra, in this bigger picture, becomes part of the system's gentle feedback loop. Where grazing happens, grass may respond by growing again from its base when conditions are right. Where animals move, paths form, and water gathers in small impressions. Where bodies leave nutrients behind, soil receives them and uses them. Nothing is wasted. Everything cycles patiently. And the beauty is, no single creature carries the whole job. The ecosystem's intelligence is distributed, shared across many lives and processes. It's a lesson in not doing everything alone. Breathe in, breathe out. Let that idea soothe you. You are not meant to manage every detail of existence. Even the savanna doesn't do that. It lets countless small things contribute, and over time, a kind of balance appears, imperfect, moving, real. Our question returns again, now echoing through the whole community. What does it feel like to belong to a rhythm? Maybe it feels like being one helpful part of a larger calm, a breath in a bigger breathing world, a small role that still matters. Imagine the zebra grazing under a soft sky. It isn't trying to improve the system. It's simply living steadily, quietly, and that living becomes contribution. A simple act repeated, becoming part of the land's ongoing conversation. And as the ecosystem continues its gentle coordination, soil feeding grass, grass feeding zebra, zebra returning nutrients to soil, we drift to the next wonder. Adaptation, not as a heroic tale, but as a quiet poetry of bodies fitting their worlds over long, patient time. Adaptation sounds like a big word, but it can be very soft when you look closely. It's the shape of a hoof that meets the ground with steady confidence. It's teeth that grind grass without complaint. It's a social life that makes wide spaces feel like home. It's a coat that catches light in stripes, turning a body into pattern. None of this arrives overnight. It arrives the way a shoreline changes, slowly, patiently, through many small moments of fitting and refitting. Over generations, bodies become more comfortable in their landscapes, like a well-worn jacket becoming softer with time. A zebra's body is a collection of quiet practicalities, strong legs for long wandering, a digestive system suited to steady grazing, senses tuned to open spaces, and those famous stripes, still studied, still debated, carry their own poetic possibility. They may help in ways both visible and subtle, confusing the eye, discouraging insects, supporting recognition between individuals, perhaps even influencing tiny movements of air along the coat. Whether one explanation or many, the stripes remain a reminder that nature can be both functional and beautiful without trying too hard. If you want a tiny smile, zebras somehow achieved timeless design without having a fashion industry. No runway, no trend cycle, just consistent excellence. The poetry of adaptation is also in behavior. Zebras graze in steady rhythms. They rest in short, gentle pockets. They gather in groups that feel like moving comfort. They drift with the seasons, following grass and water like a slow tide. And when you watch these patterns, you can feel the softness of fit. The zebra doesn't look like it's forcing its life into shape. Its shape already suits its life. That's soothing for us because we spend so much time forcing focus, forcing productivity, forcing ourselves into moods we don't naturally have at night. But the zebra offers a quieter option. Ease into what fits. Breathe in. Breathe out. Our question returns again, now wearing stripes. What does it feel like to belong to a rhythm? Maybe it feels like finding what matches you, not what impresses anyone, not what wins anything, just what lets you exhale. Tonight, you can let your own adaptation be simple. You can adjust your pillow, relax your shoulders, let your breath slow. These are small fits between you and your environment, tiny, kind adaptations that make rest more possible. And as the zebra continues its unhurried routine, body and behavior shaped by long, quiet time, we drift into the next wonder, the seasons, returning again and again, like a gentle promise that the world knows how to repeat what works. Seasons on the savanna don't feel like a dramatic makeover. They feel like the landscape changing its tone, like music shifting keys while the melody stays the same. Rain comes and goes in patterns that the land understands. Grass responds with fresh growth when moisture and sunlight align. Water gathers in low places, then slowly reduces again. The air itself changes, sometimes carrying damp earth's rich scent, sometimes carrying the dry sweetness of sun-warmed stems. Zebras live inside these cycles the way we live inside day and night. They don't need a calendar. Their bodies and senses notice the subtle cues, the taste of grass, the feel of ground, the presence of water, the softness or brittleness of stems. And when the landscape offers something new, greener patches, easier drinking spots, the herd drifts gently toward what feels nourishing. If you want a sleepy smile, zebras don't say, "It's a new season, new me." They say, "It's a new season, same me, slightly better grass." The beauty of seasons is their trustworthiness. Not always identical, not always predictable down to the minute, but familiar enough to feel like a steady reassurance. Even change can be comforting when it has a rhythm. You can imagine a zebra in early evening light as the seasons shift. The coat catches a warm glow. The grass around it looks slightly different than it did weeks ago. Maybe taller, maybe shorter, maybe a new shade. And yet the zebra's routine remains calm, grazing, resting, moving a few steps, pausing again. That repetition is soothing. It's the ecosystem's way of saying, you can change without panicking, you can adjust without drama. Breathe in, breathe out. Our question returns again, now braided into the year. What does it feel like to belong to a rhythm? Maybe it feels like letting change arrive gradually, like allowing life to shift its tone without demanding you become someone else overnight. Tonight, you can follow the seasonal lesson in the smallest way. Let your mind move from day mode into night mode, gradually. Not as a hard stop, as a slow dimming. Let your thoughts become fewer. Let your body become heavier. Let your breath become the steady refrain. And as the savanna continues its gentle cycle, water returning, grass renewing, herds drifting in slow response, we drift into the next wonder, quiet cooperation. The soft ways living things help one another without needing applause. Cooperation in nature often looks humble. It doesn't always look like a handshake. Sometimes it looks like timing, like proximity, like two lives fitting together in a way that makes the day and night smoother. On the savanna, you can see quiet cooperation in many places. Plants and pollinators moving together in gentle routines, flowers offering nectar, insects carrying pollen, both repeating the exchange without fanfare, seeds traveling with wind, or clinging to fur, or resting in soil until rain arrives. Soil microbes partnering with roots, helping plants access nutrients, turning decay into renewal. The whole system feels like a calm set of agreements written in behavior rather than words. And within zebra life, cooperation often looks like togetherness. Herds move in a loose, steady flow. Individuals graze near one another. They groom each other in small, comforting gestures. They linger close enough to feel connected, not so close that anyone seems crowded. It's social life with breathing room, an underrated art. If you want a tiny smile, zebras are excellent at being together quietly. Meanwhile, humans invented the concept of awkward silence. The savanna would like a word, but it will not rush. Cooperation also happens through shared space. Grazers of different kinds may use the same broad areas, each preferring different plant parts or grass heights, shaping the landscape in complementary ways. Birds may stay near large animals, taking advantage of insects stirred by movement. No one announces the partnership. It just happens, gently, because it works. And what's soothing is how unforced it all feels. Nature doesn't need constant persuasion to cooperate. It simply repeats what fits, and over time, a network of mutual support forms. Breathe in, breathe out. Let this soften something in you. You are allowed to receive support. You are allowed to rest in connection, even if it's quiet. Even if it's just the sound of this narration, the feeling of your blanket, the steady presence of your own breath. Our question returns again, now wrapped in community. What does it feel like to belong to a rhythm? Maybe it feels like being part of a gentle network, giving a little, receiving a little, and not needing to explain yourself. And as the savanna continues its calm cooperation, roots and soil, grass and rain, zebras and their shared quiet, our journey rises into an even softer dusk of reflection, where patterns repeat, where life cycles turn, and where slowness begins to feel like its own kind of safety. Nature has a way of turning pages without slamming the book. On the savanna, life moves through cycles that feel steady rather than dramatic. Grass grows, gets grazed, grows again. Rain arrives, then leaves. Nights deepen, then lighten into morning. And within the herd, bodies move through their own quiet chapters, young learning, adults steadying the group, older animals carrying experience in the calm way they stand and breathe. A zebra's life, like any life, includes beginnings and endings. But tonight, we don't need to focus on sharp edges. We can focus on the softness of continuity, the way one day flows into another, the way a landscape keeps offering space for living, the way routines return like familiar lullabies. The foal grows slowly. Its legs become more confident. Its grazing becomes less like tasting and more like knowing. It learns the herd's gentle timing, when to move, when to pause, when to stand close. And one day, without any announcement, it simply isn't a foal anymore. It's part of the steady middle of life. If you want a small, sleepy smile, nature doesn't throw milestone parties. No balloons, no congratulations on being an adult. Just grass. And somehow, that's enough. In the ecosystem, cycles loop beyond the zebra too. Nutrients move through soil, plants, and bodies in quiet circulation. What falls to the ground becomes part of the ground. What grows from the ground becomes food. The system doesn't cling. It transforms gently. And the savanna holds these cycles with a kind of quiet acceptance. It doesn't rush the seasons. It doesn't demand permanence. It simply continues, steady, forgiving, always making room for the next soft page. Breathe in, breathe out. Let that soothe something tender in you. You don't have to grip time. You don't have to fight the turning. Even in your own life, chapters change in small ways, sometimes without you noticing until later. And that can be okay. Our question returns again, now woven into cycles. What does it feel like to belong to a rhythm? Maybe it feels like trusting the turning pages, letting one moment end without panic, letting the next begin without forcing. Tonight you can practice a tiny version of that. Let the day's chapter close. Let your thoughts loosen their hold. Let your body settle deeper into rest. The savanna turns pages with grace. You can too. And as we drift onward, the reflections rise gently into the serenity of slowness. How nature shows again and again that moving slowly can still be deeply successful. Slowness has a reputation problem. In human life, slow sometimes sounds like behind, but on the savanna, slow often means right on time. It means energy saved. It means attention kept soft. It means living at the speed that fits the landscape. Zebras aren't in a constant hurry. They graze steadily. They move in calm drifts. They pause often. Even their chewing looks like a meditation exercise. Repetitive, rhythmic, strangely satisfying to watch. Step, nibble, chew, pause, in, out. Slowness here is not laziness. It's efficiency wrapped in peace. It's the body choosing the pace it can repeat. And repetition is the secret ingredient in nature's long success. If you'd like a gentle smile, zebras don't grind. They literally grind grass very calmly, and they still get everything done. Iconic behavior, honestly. The savanna itself supports slowness. Wind travels at a steady pace. Grass grows gradually. Seasons shift without a countdown. Even the sun rises with patience, never rushing, never late. When you watch zebras move through this slow world, you can feel how rest becomes part of the system, not a reward at the end of effort. Rest is simply included. It shows up between bites of grass, between steps, between moments of looking up. That's a beautiful lesson for us. because we often treat rest like an appointment we might cancel. The zebra doesn't cancel rest. The zebra doesn't earn rest. The zebra just rests when rest fits. Breathe in, breathe out. Let your body accept slowness as natural. If your thoughts try to speed up, planning, remembering, rehearsing, you can let them soften. Not by fighting them, just by returning to the rhythm of breath. Our question returns again, now in slow motion. Maybe it feels like moving at the pace you can keep without losing yourself, without tightening your chest, without holding your breath. Tonight, you can choose that pace. You can be slow in a way that feels safe. You can let your eyelids grow heavier. Let your muscles loosen. Let your mind become less interested in being clever. And as slowness settles into you like warm sand, we drift toward another gentle teacher, the quiet art of letting go, how nature releases what it no longer needs, and how that releasing can feel like returning home. Letting go in nature rarely looks like a dramatic goodbye. It looks like leaves dropping when it's time, like water evaporating under a calm sun, like grass drying, then growing again when rain returns. It looks like a landscape changing its clothing without making a speech about it. On the savanna, zebras don't cling to yesterday's grass. They graze what's here. They drift when the land suggests a new direction. They pause when the body asks for stillness. They don't seem to argue with time. They simply move with it. And there's something deeply restful about that. If you want a tiny, sleepy smile, zebras don't keep just-in-case piles of grass. No hoarding, no storage bins. Very minimalist lifestyle. Letting go can also look like easing out of effort, like relaxing a muscle that's been holding tension for too long, like releasing a thought that keeps circling the same old path. Tonight, you can practice letting go in the smallest way, not by forcing yourself to stop thinking. That's rarely soothing. Instead, you can loosen your grip on the thoughts, like opening your hand and letting a feather rest there, rather than squeezing it. Breathe in, breathe out. Imagine your mind as the savanna. Thoughts are like wind-blown grasses, moving, bending, returning. You don't need to control every blade. You can let the movement be. You can let the rhythm happen without managing it. Our question returns again, now like a soft door closing. What does it feel like to belong to a rhythm? Maybe it feels like trusting release, like letting the day fall away, like returning again and again to the simplest home, your breath, in, out. Notice how each exhale is already a kind of letting go. The body does it without debate. It releases air. It makes room for the next inhale. It repeats this gentle act all night long, keeping you alive with the quiet confidence of nature itself. As we move closer to the episode's descent, the reflections grow even softer. We'll begin to return quietly to our question from part 2 and guide the mind towards stillness, like the savanna settling when wind eases and water smooths. Now the night feels deeper, not darker in a sharp way, just quieter, heavier with calm. The air seems to slow. The grass waves soften. The sounds of the savanna become more spaced out, like gentle notes with long pauses between them. And in this softened space, our question returns, quietly. The way a familiar scent returns when you open a drawer and find a shirt that still smells like home. What does it feel like to belong to a rhythm? We've watched zebras live inside rhythm without effort, grazing in steady cycles, moving in slow drifts, resting in pockets of stillness, standing close in quiet company. The zebra doesn't appear to chase calm. It simply allows calm to be part of the routine. Maybe that's the answer nature offers, not as a lesson, not as advice, but as an image you can hold gently. Belonging to a rhythm can feel like not having to push. It can feel like letting the body do what it knows. Breathe in, breathe out. Notice how the savanna doesn't try to be exciting at night. It doesn't put on a show. It becomes smooth and steady, like water settling after a small ripple. And the zebra, stripe by stripe, becomes part of that settling. If you want the smallest possible smile, almost whispered, even the stars seem like they're taking a slow blink. Not because they're tired, just because they're in no hurry. In this descent, we don't add many new facts. We don't need them. We let imagery do the work. We let the mind loosen. Imagine a zebra standing in moonlight, eyes half soft, ears relaxed. The herd is nearby, a quiet presence. The grass is cool. The ground is steady. The air is kind. Everything feels settled into its place, and you can settle too. Let your shoulders sink. Let your tongue rest in your mouth. Let your hands open, even if only a little. Let your thoughts be like distant hoof prints, fading gently into dust. Breathe in, breathe out. Belonging to a rhythm can feel like safety without effort, like being held by repetition, like letting the night carry you without needing to steer. And as we continue, we'll drift even deeper into stillness, into the slow smoothing of water, the easing of wind, and the quiet settling of the savanna into rest. There's a moment in the night when everything seems to soften at once. The wind, which had been moving through grass like a slow hand, begins to ease. The grass heads sway less, then pause, then barely move at all. The air feels smoother, as if the savanna has decided to set down whatever it was carrying and simply be. At the waterhole, the surface becomes more still. Ripples fade, reflections sharpen. The moon sits on the water like a quiet coin of light, steady and unbothered. Even the edges of the pool, the grasses, the mud, the little stones, seem to relax into their shapes. This is the kind of calm you don't need to earn. It arrives when conditions allow, and then it stays for a while, like a gentle visitor who knows how to be polite. Zebras, too, settle into this softer phase of the night. Their movements become smaller. Their pauses stretch a little longer. They stand in calm clusters, stripes overlapping like woven fabric. Some graze slowly. Some rest upright, bodies steady, as if they've learned the art of being still without becoming stiff. If you want a micro-humor line that stays lullaby soft, zebras don't do bedtime routines. They are the bedtime routine. And now, as we drift deeper into rest, the narration itself begins to feel like it's walking on tiptoe. We don't want to wake the night. We just want to follow it. Breathe in, breathe out. Let your breathing match the smoothing water. In, out, like a ripple that becomes stillness. Let your thoughts match the easing wind. A little movement, then less, then quiet. Our question is still here, but it doesn't need an answer anymore. It can simply be a companion. What does it feel like to belong to a rhythm? Maybe it feels like this: wind easing, water smoothing, body settling, mind loosening. In this moment, you don't have to do anything at all. The savanna is doing what it does. The zebra is doing what it does. And you are allowed to do what you do best at night. Rest, drift, soften. And as the night continues to quiet itself, we move toward the final rest, where imagery becomes even gentler, repetition becomes more soothing, and the wild dissolves into sleep like fog dissolving into dawn. Now we move even more softly, like footsteps on sand. The savanna feels quieter in a deeper way, less like a place with sounds, more like a place with space. The air is smooth, the grass barely shifts, and the zebras, with their calm striped bodies, seem to sink into stillness as if they're settling into a familiar, gentle arrangement. A herd at rest is not a frozen scene. It's a living softness. Small movements continue, but they're tiny, an ear turning, a tail making a slow sweep, a head lowering for a few peaceful bites of grass. The rhythm is slow enough that your mind can stop bracing for change. Nothing is about to leap out at you in this story. Nothing is rushing. Everything is simply present. Some zebras stand close, forming a quiet cluster, like people who have known each other a long time and no longer need to fill the silence. Their stripes overlap and weave into a pattern that looks almost like the savanna has drawn them itself. If you allow a tiny, sleepy smile, the herd looks like it's wearing matching pajamas, the most fashionable bedtime group you've ever seen. The land holds them with steady patience. Under hoof and under belly, the earth is warm in the way it stays warm after a day of sun, like a memory of comfort. Above them, the sky stretches wide, unbothered, full of gentle darkness and scattered light. And your body can borrow that steadiness now. Breathe in, breathe out. Let your breath be slow enough that it feels like it has room. Let your exhale be long enough that it feels like letting go. In this descent, we return again, quietly, to our question. But we hold it like a feather, not like a homework assignment. What does it feel like to belong to a rhythm? It can feel like being surrounded by calm. It can feel like not needing to explain yourself. It can feel like simply existing inside repetition. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. The zebras don't ask for permission to rest. They don't apologize for being slow. They don't worry about whether they've done enough today. They just let the night hold them, and you can let the night hold you too. Let your eyes feel heavy if they want to. Let your hands rest open. Let your jaw soften. Let your forehead become smooth. The savanna doesn't need anything from you. Not tonight. It only offers you this gentle scene, striped bodies in quiet company, grass like a soft floor, air like a calm blanket, so your mind can loosen and your sleep can begin to arrive like fog. And as we drift onward, we enter the final rest, where imagery becomes quieter still, and repetition becomes the soft road leading you into sleep. The night now feels like fabric, dark, smooth, and gently warm. Over the plains, the air settles into a stillness that doesn't feel empty. It feels full, but in a quiet way, full of steadiness, full of slow time, full of the simple fact that the world keeps existing even when you stop thinking about it. Zebras remain nearby in our imagination, but they no longer need the spotlight. They are part of the background now, like a comforting shape you can sense without looking. A herd at rest becomes a kind of landscape feature, like a cluster of stones, like a grove of trees, like a familiar piece of the savanna's nighttime furniture. The grass is cool at the tips and warmer closer to the ground. The soil holds the day's warmth underneath, like a secret. The breeze is so light now it feels like a whisper that decided to be polite and not interrupt. And if you listen, you might notice the smallest sounds: a faint insect hum, a soft shift of weight, a distant call that feels more like punctuation than a message. Breathe in, breathe out. Let your breathing become your whole job. Nothing else needs doing. No solving, no fixing. Just the steady movement of air, the way the savanna's wind moves, slow, kind, and unhurried. Our question from earlier doesn't need to speak anymore, but it can rest here like a quiet pebble at the bottom of a stream. What does it feel like to belong to a rhythm? Maybe it feels like being allowed to stop, like being included in the night's softness, like letting your mind float without steering. If you want a micro-humor line, almost lullaby level, even the grass seems like it's lying down, not technically, but spiritually. In this final stretch, we reduce the world to gentle repetition. Grass, breath, moonlight, stripes, stillness, in, out. Let the zebra's calm presence become a reminder that rest is natural, that stillness is not something you have to earn, that your body is designed for sleep the way hooves are designed for ground, quietly, practically, perfectly. And now, as everything slows even further, we drift into the final rest sections, where imagery returns like a familiar lullaby. Water, leaves, distant calls, soft motifs repeating until your thoughts blur into sleep. In this part of the night, even time seems to walk more quietly. The savanna becomes a slow-moving painting. The grasses stand like gentle brush strokes. The trees hold their silhouettes without effort. The waterhole rests with a smooth surface, reflecting a softened sky. And somewhere nearby, the zebras remain, striped shapes that feel less like separate beings and more like part of the night's texture. You don't have to picture every detail clearly. It's okay if it's hazy. Haze is welcome. Haze is basically the official aesthetic of drifting toward sleep. Breathe in, breathe out. Imagine the zebra's breathing, slow and steady, matching the pace of your own. A rise of ribs, a gentle release, a quiet pause. In the herd, this rhythm repeats in many bodies at once, like the savanna itself has learned how to breathe through living creatures. The night carries soft motifs that return again and again. The whisper of grass, the stillness of water, the calm of stripes dissolving into shadow, the distant call of a night bird that feels like a lullaby note. And each time these motifs return, your mind can loosen a little more. Familiarity is soothing. Repetition is safe. Your nervous system doesn't have to prepare for surprises. It can simply settle. If a thought drifts in, let it be like a cloud crossing the moon, brief, gentle, and not worth chasing. The moon remains, the sky remains, the night remains. In, out. Let your shoulders become heavy in the best way. Let your legs feel warm and still. Let your hands rest like stones that have had a long time to practice being relaxed. Optional micro-humor, lullaby soft. Even the stones seem relaxed. They've had practice. And now the zebra's stripes return in your mind like a slow pattern you can follow. Black, pale, black, pale. Like waves, like breath, like the simplest kind of counting that doesn't require effort. In, out. You are safe in this calm scene. The savanna does not demand anything. The zebras do not perform. The water does not hurry. The wind does not push. Everything simply exists in a quiet agreement to be gentle. And in that agreement, sleep can arrive naturally, like fog settling, like water smoothing, like grass finally becoming still. If the savanna had a lullaby, it would be made of ordinary sounds, not big, dramatic sounds. Just the small ones, steady, repeating, easy to ignore in the best way. The hush of grass, the soft chorus of insects, the faint lap of water, the occasional distant call that never feels urgent, just present. Picture the waterhole again. The surface is smooth, and moonlight rests on it like a pale ribbon. The edges are lined with grasses that lean in, as if the water is telling them a quiet story. A tiny ripple appears, then fades. Stillness returns. Now picture a zebra near that water, not doing anything remarkable, not needing to. Just standing, just breathing, just being a striped silhouette in a world that's finally gone quiet. Breathe in, breathe out. Let your breath become the savanna's lullaby. In, out, like water touching shore, like grass moving, then settling. The zebra's presence is gentle here. Even the idea of a zebra is gentle. Its stripes and softness and steady legs and quiet company. It's a creature that doesn't try to be impressive. It simply lives its calm life in a calm place. And that can be enough for your mind tonight. Enough imagery to float on, not so much that you have to work. If your thoughts try to make meaning, let them soften. You don't need to gather insights right now. You can let the savanna be what it is, a steady scene that repeats until your mind forgets to stay awake. In, out. Notice how repetition feels safer than novelty at bedtime. Water, grass, moonlight, stripes, breath. Each word is like a soft stepping stone across a quiet stream. You can step from one to the next without needing to look down. And if you want a tiny, almost inaudible humor line, somewhere, a zebra is probably thinking, yes, more grass. Perfect. But very calmly. Always calmly. Now let your eyelids grow heavy. Let your face soften. Let your mind become a little less interested in staying organized. The savanna keeps singing its simple lullaby, and you don't have to do anything but listen until listening turns into drifting, and drifting turns into sleep. At the edge of sleep, the world becomes simple again. You don't need many thoughts. You don't need many images. You only need a feeling, soft, steady, and safe. The savanna offers that feeling. Wide open space that doesn't feel lonely. Quiet that doesn't feel empty. A herd nearby that doesn't demand anything from you. A water hole that reflects moonlight without trying. Grass that moves a little, then rests. And the zebra, striped and calm, becomes a symbol of belonging. Not belonging as in fitting in perfectly, but belonging as in being allowed to exist here. The zebra belongs because it is part of the land's rhythm, and the land belongs because it continues to be itself. Breathe in, breathe out. Let your body belong to the bed the way the zebra belongs to the grassland, by resting into it. Let your spine settle, let your shoulders melt, let your hands lie still, like leaves that have found the ground. Our question is still here, but now it feels answered without words. What does it feel like to belong to a rhythm? It can feel like your breathing becoming easy, like your thoughts slowing down, like your body trusting stillness. If your mind offers one last thought, let it be gentle. If it offers none, that's even better. The savanna doesn't require commentary. It simply holds. In, out. The zebra's stripes blur into the night. The water smooths. The wind eases. The grasses settle. Everything is soft. Everything is slow. Everything is steady. And now, as we approach the final two parts, the narration becomes even quieter. Less about describing, more about dissolving. We'll repeat the calm motifs one last time, then close with the fixed final lines, unchanged, like a soft door closing in the dark. Now the night feels very simple, not empty, just simple, like a room after the lights have been dimmed and everything has found its place. The savanna rests in soft layers, dark sky above, cool grass below, a quiet ribbon of water somewhere nearby, and the striped presence of zebras blending into shadow like calm ink. You don't need to picture it perfectly. Let it be a little blurred. Let it be dreamy. Sleep prefers soft edges. Breathe in, breathe out. Imagine the zebra's stripes again, not as sharp lines, but as a gentle pattern your mind can follow. Black, pale, black, pale, like slow waves, like the steady rhythm of breathing, like a lullaby without words. Around the herd, the grass holds stillness with patient grace. A few stems sway just slightly, then settle. The breeze is so light now, it feels like it's thinking about moving, but deciding not to bother. The air is calm, and calm is contagious. If a tiny micro-humor line can fit here, only as soft as a whisper, even the breeze seems like it's yawning, quietly, politely. The waterhole remains smooth. The moon's reflection lies on the surface like a pale leaf. If a ripple appears, it fades quickly, stillness returning the way sleep returns when you stop checking the time. In, out. Let your thoughts do the same. If a thought ripples, let it fade. Don't follow it. Don't argue with it. Just let it settle back into quiet. Your body knows what to do next. It has practiced this for your whole life. It can sink into sleep the way the savanna sinks into night, gradually, naturally, without effort. Let your shoulders relax a little more. Let your jaw soften. Let your hands be still. Let your eyelids feel heavy. Breathing becomes the only rhythm you need. In, out. And if your mind wants something gentle to rest on, give it one last small set of images, repeating slowly. Grass, moonlight, water, stripes, stillness. Grass, moonlight, water, stripes, stillness. Each word is quiet. Each word is soft. Each word is a step closer to sleep. Now we drift into the final moment, where everything dissolves even further, where the wild becomes a slow cradle, and the last lines close the night like a warm hand smoothing a blanket. The savanna is fully settled now. The sky holds its dark velvet stillness. The grasses rest, cool and quiet. The water lies smooth, reflecting a softened moon, and the zebras, striped and calm, are simply part of it all. As natural as shadow and as gentle as breath. No effort is needed here. Nothing is required. The world is already doing its quiet work. Breathe in, breathe out. Let your breathing be slow enough to feel like floating. Let your exhale be long enough to feel like releasing. Let the pause after the exhale be a small, peaceful silence. In, out. If you're still awake, that's perfectly okay. You don't need to chase sleep. You can let sleep find you the way fog finds the ground, softly, gradually, without announcing itself. Picture one last scene. A zebra standing in moonlight, eyes soft, posture relaxed. The herd nearby is a quiet presence. The stripes overlap into a gentle tapestry. The savanna surrounds them like a calm room with open walls. And if your mind wants a final lullaby thought, let it be this: you belong to the rhythm too. Not because you've done enough, not because you've earned it, just because you're here, breathing. And breathing is already a rhythm that the world understands. In, out. Let the images fade now. Let the zebra become shadow. Let the water become smooth darkness. Let the grass become a soft texture you no longer need to describe. Let your thoughts blur. Let your body sink. Let your mind loosen its grip, one gentle breath at a time. And now, we close with the fixed final lines, unchanged, like a soft door closing in the dark. Everything flows through the wild, sleep in that motion.